So let's look at like the worst case scenario. Let's say the power goes off, there was a bad storm during the winter. I don't know if it's going to be charging to the full capacity because usually in winter months, we're getting less sun hours.
Really, the key thing here is that cold temperatures are really bad for batteries, lithium batteries.
Well, so what would be the solution? Like if someone had to walk away from this conversation about batteries and be careful of weather.
Think about it as a design factor. If you know that your batteries are going to be in a cold environment, know that you don't have the full rated capacity to pull out of them. At this temperature, I can only pull 70% out of these batteries of what they're rated for. I'll have to add an extra 30% onto the capacity if I plan to use it in those conditions.
You know, and people in those kind of conditions, like we were just at a house over by Schwa's place, and we get the extreme hot and we get the extreme cold. We're thinking about like, oh, we want to put the battery outside, but then it's south facing side of the home where the sun is just pounding on that, especially when it's 105, 110 degrees. So we want to make sure it's in the shade. If it is going to be outside, you probably got to put it into some kind of like a little insulation box or building for it. Would you want like a heater for that in those really cold months? Or do you think the heat from the batteries discharging in a well insulated place in a below freezing area would keep it warm enough?
Best practices for batteries outside, you need some sort of temperature mitigation device, whether that's a heater, a space heater. I always like redundancy. So, I would put it in the shed and put in a heater because I'm of the mindset that I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Can you have it in the sun, but it's shaded?
From someone that has done a lot of batteries outside, you can have it in the sun, but it's duration and intensity. I have batteries installed in Vermont. They have it outside in a server rack kind of product that we have, but they have a overhang over it. Like it's protected. They have a heater snapped on a DIN rail, right? And that heater will turn on when the temperature goes below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, right? And they'll power that heater with the battery, so they're not having to purchase from the grid. It comes back to doing your research. One of my recommendations for folks is consult a professional permitting, design, or installation company.
Like having someone design it for you and give you some guidance on, the little tips and tricks that will help the longevity of your battery system is so huge. Like if you're serious about battery storage and putting a power plant on your home that's going to store energy, you just don't jump on because you saw a battery for super cheap and there was like a 50% discount. Like you should really work with some company to help you design that and actually make recommendations. Schwab knows all the downfalls of battery storage. He sees it daily. So if anybody has any comments or questions, leave them in the comment below. I'll pass it off to Schwab.